Hey everybody, it's your girl TheQuackingSaffa here, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into a very exciting one. We're going through what I find interesting in the brand new Path of Exile 2 update, the third Edict. Now this isn't going to be a very long video because I am aware that everybody else has covered it, but this is what I find interesting, so let's get straight into the crafting. Now, I will admit that this one was a big one for me because recently playing Path of Exile 1 has opened my eyes to the wide and wonderful ways of crafting because the crafting system in Path of Exile 1 is superior. And for anybody who doesn't know about crafting in Path of Exile 1, I highly recommend you check it out. You can do absolutely anything you can think of to an item if you use the right combination of items. So you'll imagine that I was very happy to find out that they did this big update to crafting. Now, it is controversial because some of the things I don't quite get, some of the things I absolutely love, and some of the things we'll just have to see how it goes. Now, the one thing that I will mention of the things I don't understand is why they didn't add alteration orbs to the game. I understand in my last video, I know I said that GGG are not trying to make the same game twice, but alteration orbs just made sense. So I don't understand why they didn't add that, but instead added some of the things that I'm about to mention. But I'm going to stop complaining and get into the slides. So they added new currency orbs that start dropping late campaign and maps. So they added the greater and perfect variations of transmutation, augmentation, chaos, regal, and exalted orbs. Basically what they do is they raise the minimum level of modifiers that you can get on an item. So as you can see on my slide there for the augmentation orb, the greater's minimum modifier level is 55 and the perfect's is 70. I think this was a good idea overall because what it means is that when you get to late game and maps, you no longer get those lower class items. You get things that will help you create your builds and make them better instead of getting items that you could have gotten in the campaign at level 30. And I think this is especially important when you're talking about orbs of transmutation, because if you get a non-magic or if you get a normal item and you want to make it a magic item, you can now raise the modifier level of the modifiers that you're going to get, which just makes it better for your character overall, and I think that GGG really thought about this when they made these changes. Let's talk essences. No longer are you hoarding them from the start of the campaign to late game to end game, because they come in different tiers now. So your lesser essences will be for upgrading a magic to a rare item, and your perfect essences will remove a random modifier and augment a rare item with a new guaranteed modifier, which is perfect for when you're traveling through campaign and you need that extra boost, and perfect for late game when you're crafting something and you need to guarantee that you get something like a fire or a lightning modifier on your bow. Moving on to omens, and GGG have added 15 new omens to the game, some of which are the Omen of Sanctification, which will use a divine orb and sanctify an item, which will go above the maximum and below the maximum percentage of modifier on an item. And once you've sanctified it, most methods of crafting don't work, so be careful when you're using it. You have the Omen of Chaotic Monsters, which will take a Chaos Orb and replace all modifiers on a Waystone with modifiers that grant pack size. Again, this can be useful in many ways. And personally, probably one of my favorites is the Omen of the Ancients. While this item is active in your inventory, your next Orb of Chance will upgrade the item to a random unique of the same item class. No longer will it destroy the item, but you cannot guarantee if you use this on a Stellar Amulet that you're gonna get an Astromantis. GGG have finally done it. They have brought Hinakora's Lock to Path of Exile 2. For those of you who haven't played Path of Exile 1 and don't know what Hinakora's Lock is, using it allows you to see what the next currency item is going to put on your item, so you know whether it's going to be good or bad, worth it or not. Other things to mention are, you can now pick up exceptional items. This is items that can have up to plus 30% quality, they can have an extra socket already on them, and then when you corrupt them they can even have an extra socket, which makes playing with a wand, Blood Mage, even more amazing. The final thing I'll talk about on crafting is abyssal crafting. Now you can pick up gnawed jawbones from completing abyssal encounters and use them on an item. Basically that turns it into one of those veiled items from Path of Exile 1, and you take it to the Well of Souls, and what they will do is give you additional crafting modifiers you can pick from 3, which will improve your item. This is going to be amazing during the campaign and even better during late game for those all-important modifiers. GGG have also made some major improvements to Ascendancies. Now the Ascendancies that I am most interested in are obviously the Monk Ascendancies. You've got the Invoker, which had some changes, and Acolyte of Chayula, which previously not many people played, not that I know of, but they've had some major buffs that should make them really, really interesting. I won't go into too much detail about it, but the slide is up here if you want to pause and have a look at it. The one thing I will mention is the hollow palm technique. Now I know a lot of people are talking about it, and a lot of people are excited about it. Hollow palm, what is it and why is it so exciting? Well, I'll tell you from my point of view. Hollow palm technique means you can attack as though using a quarterstaff while both of your hand slots are empty. Unarmed attacks that would use your quarterstaff damage gain physical damage based on their skill level, 1% more attack speed per 25 item evasion rating on equipped armor items, and 0.1% critical hit chance per 10 item energy shield on equipped armor items, which is going to be great for if you're going for a chaos inoculation. Now I know that you can stack energy shield pretty high, which means that your critical hit chance per 10 item energy shield on equipped armor items could actually really benefit your Invoker. I also think that it's actually just really cool. I've always wanted to have unarmed combat in Path of Exile 2, and I think that this is the perfect opportunity to do so. They've also made some changes to and scattered them to the winds, notable passive skill, which deals more damage overall with fire, cold, and lightning. Again, when you're using hollow palm technique, I think that's going to be fantastic. Also, I want to mention that there are new gloves that I couldn't find, but I really want to know what they are because I saw them in the preview video and it looks fantastic. Basically, you just throw lightning bolts from the sky with your gloves when you're using your unarmed hollow palm technique. Now let's get into my bread and butter, the Blood Mage. The Blood Mage has had changes which could be conceived as bad or good, but I think overall the buffs made to Blood Mage are going to be fantastic, especially during campaign, first ascendancy, and even to late game. I think that the Blood Mage is a very viable option for a league starter. Most notably, the small life passive before Sanguimancy has been removed, and Sanguimancy is now free to allocate, which means going through your first ascendancy and getting Vitality Siphon will give your Blood Mage just that extra little bit of strength to get you through. I think it's fantastic and I'm so excited to play this build. Gore Spikes and Son of the Flesh have also now swapped places, which means you can get your base critical hit chance for spells at 15%, meaning that you can move into crit sooner than you were before. Again, most viable league starter option I think for me is the Blood Mage. Now, I know there are many people out there that would disagree with me, and that's perfectly okay, but there are many other people that have different ideas, and I'd love to hear them. So if you want to leave a comment letting me know, that'd be fantastic. But there you have it, folks. That is my Path of Exile 2, the third Edict update review, overview, my thoughts, my views, what I'm going to try and do, what I'm going to try and play as a league starter. It's either going to be Monk or Blood Mage, but as you can tell, it's probably going to be Blood Mage. Thank you so much for watching, and if you've liked, don't forget to leave a like rating and subscribe if you want to see more of my content in the future. All that's left for me to say is take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll catch you in the next one.